Hello, how are you? Woo, that was loud.
That's how we start our show.
That's how we start our show, yeah. We are, I forgot my name, Michelle Miller, Jennifer Walker with the Gallia County Chamber of Commerce, and this is our second show, as if you can't tell, for Chamber Exchange. And first we'd like to thank, we did it last time, but we want to thank OSU and University of Rio Grande for allowing us to do this show each month. So we'll turn it over to Jennifer to introduce our first guest.
Well, like Michelle said, I'm Jennifer Walker, Associate Director at the Chamber, and today we are happy to welcome the one and only Mr. Joshua LaBello, artist and owner of Envy Inc. And Joshua and his business are actually one of our newer Chamber members, so welcome to the Chamber of Commerce.
Hey, thanks.
And today we will be talking with Josh about some things that have been going on at Envy, and I think you have some things in mind, so I'll just let you take it from here.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is the past, present, and future of tattooing, I believe. Was
well, I think what. Thanks for the opportunity. We wanted to come and talk about what's happening in the tattoo industry in general. It used to be tattoos were for warriors and hunters, and it's and to distinguish people with their own marks. And it's pretty neat that now we're moving into more of the medical field of things, and we're using them to hide marks. And we've been doing a lot of work with cancer survivors lately, which is really rewarding work. And we want to make sure we get the word out about that too, because we have some pretty exciting offers right now for that. We are working with mastectomy patients, recreating nipples and covering scars after surgery, and hiding things like chemo port scars and other various, and any scars having to do with the whole cancer process of surgery and whatnot. A lot of times, one thing I learned this last year is that chemotherapy really affects people's eyebrows. They either don't ever grow back, or they grow back at such a snail's pace that they have to draw it on. And so we've been pioneering some methods for doing what's called hair stroke eyebrows. It's not the big, thick, surprise look, that you may be picturing in your head of permanent tattoos for eyebrows. We're actually taking the time to do the hair strokes in the proper pattern. And I'm glad I studied that as a kid with anatomy, so now I can apply that to tattooing.
So, and we have, I believe, some pictures of some of the scar cover-ups and some of the eyebrow work that you've done recently, correct? Do you want to bring up the first one?
This isn't a scar cover-up. This is just a pretty tattoo.
Okay, that's just well, pretty tattoos are great.
We want you to know that we still
do
want
other
you to.
Stuff.
Yeah, well, first of all, this is more cartoonish or illustrative, but we do everything from portraits on, and it makes sense that we would get into doing things like realistic eyebrows and recreating realistic nipples for people, and matching their flesh tone to hide scars and different things. Recently, a pretty recent development with plastic surgeons is they're getting away from, they'll do the reconstruction, but they're in a large part getting away from doing the tattooing themselves, because they're realizing they're just not that good at it. I've seen many people whose the tattooing ink has just vanished. I don't know what process they're using, but they come to me and it's permanent.
So this is fairly new to the tattoo industry, right?
It's been pretty underground for the last few years, but right now there's just a handful of people out there starting to make news. It's just a pretty natural progression of evolution of being able to bring the tattoo industry in general, since the advent of the various ink masters and Miami ink shows and stuff. It's coming more in the mainstream. It's everybody is looking at tattoos in the mainstream now, and it's more acceptable. And people are using it just like they're picking clothes or jewelry. You know, they're designing themselves, which is really cool.
Do we have a few more photos, I think?
This is a pretty major self-harm scar, and we were able to disguise it pretty efficiently. So we're doing all kinds of scars. This is just a scar from a bad tattoo. It was a poorly done tattoo that was very raised, and we were able to camouflage it, bring the eye away from it. This was a bee sting. When she was 8, she had some sort of a bee sting that stuck in there, and the doctor wasn't able to dig it out because of the swelling was so immediate. And she lived with this for 8 years or so, and she was very happy that I was able to make it go away. This is an example of some eyebrows. We do it in every color, every conceivable color. We'll do it gray or blonde or red or black. We totally recreated these. She lost her eyebrows completely. You can sort of see, it's not a great picture, but you see the hair stroke in there. Hi, that's me. There's some other eyebrows we've done. Happy customer.
I think that's neat, especially going in. How long does it take you to do like one eyebrow if you're doing the hair stroke?
Really not that long, 45 minutes, an hour.
How much practice went into doing that for you? I think when we talked before, you said that this became, the cover-up what became a challenge for you, right? The scar cover-up, and
oh, yeah.
You saw it as...
Yeah, that's the personal fun of it for me and the guys that work at MV Inc. is most tattoo artists completely shy away from tattooing over scars because there's just a high level of difficulty. You know, it's more than just, you know, going over bumpy skin. You have to really anticipate how the ink is going to set into that grain of skin, and it's really fun. It's a really fun challenge.
You just did something pretty special for the month of October. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Actually, we're extending that for the rest of the year. We're doing free cancer cover-up tattoos. Any scars having to do with full mastectomy, we don't even care how extensive it is. If we're covering both breasts, we're covering any scars having to do with we'll tattoo eyebrows on, nipples. If you had tumors removed, port scars from chemo, or anything else you can think of that we haven't thought of. All we ask is that you let us take a before and after picture. You know, it doesn't have to have anybody's names or faces on it at all. But we're doing this completely free of charge. It just feels good. If you want to help support us in this cause, come to the shop and buy some MV Inc. t-shirts, or we have some hoodies and stuff like that. So
what have you gotten out of this so far? I mean, you've been doing this through the whole month already, offering have you had people come in to take part?
Yeah.
What kind of reaction has that been?
It's, I mean, it's new to me, but it's really humbling, and it's really moving to see two ladies come in who both have never met and hug, and like they've been through a war together. You know, they know exactly what they've been through. You know, the questions they ask each other are very specific. You know, how long was this, and what did you go through? And it's really moving. It's really rewarding. And we always at MV Inc. we're always looking to expand what we do. We're looking for different styles. We invent different styles. We want to try new things on skin, and the medical field I think it's a largely ignored, direction, and it makes sense that people who have artistic talent should tackle that, So we're going to be looking at some other things here in the near future. We have some other things on the back burner not back burner, but we're looking to cover burn scars and do some burn victim work, and things like birthmarks and stuff like that. So if anybody has something they want us to look at and have a few questions for us, come visit us.
Now you do more than tattoo. I mean, the shop itself is also a live. You do some live
Yeah.
events, and so do you do some different things at the shop, just besides tattooing? Correct.
Yes, yeah, we have periodic live events there, music, comedy, whatever. Just keep your eye to the Instagram or the Facebook, and we announce them as they come. They're not every weekend or anything, but it's just periodic, just fun. We have a fun space, and I have a background in music and sound engineering, so it's just fun to use what I know how to do to help out bands who don't have places to play and things like that. It's a fun community building thing.
Okay. You also have some art exhibited in there as well.
Mm-hmm. We always have some artist or multiple artists on the walls there, photographers, painters, artists of any kind. So it's always something. Everybody that comes in says it's completely different in here every time they come in, and that's what we want. We want it to always be in flux, always looking good.
We have a few minutes left. Do you want to talk about the staff at NV Inc., or is there anything? Nothing. You don't want to talk about the staff? Okay. No. Or anything else that you want to talk about?
Currently at NV Inc., we have myself and my brother Michael, also an amazing artist. We've been competing our entire lives with pencils and crayons in hand, so I would trust him to do anything I do. Cancer, scar cover-ups, anything. We also have just added recently Jerry Enrico, a really well-known artist in the area. He travels to every high school and does private lessons, and he's one of the co-curators at the gallery at 409 in Point Pleasant, and we're really glad to have him on board too. He's a portrait artist also by trade, so I wanted to recruit him and teach him how to do it on skin.
How's he? I mean, and he's been. How long has he been doing this now with you?
He's only been doing it a few months.
Okay.
But yeah, he's doing really well.
I've seen some of the pictures, I think, recently that you've put up. So, and for anybody who is interested in what you do, they can follow you on Facebook, correct? Mm-hmm. And you have a website?
Yes, we have nvinktattoo.com.
Okay.
Look for NV Ink Tattoo anywhere in the Google, and you'll find it.
Google NV Ink Tattoo.
It's Instagram, whatever. And in general, I'd like to just close with anybody who has any kind of question about tattooing, your tattoo, your piercing, anything that even if you didn't get it from us, come talk to us if you have an issue with it. We're the area's authority on what's wrong with it or what's going on with it. People come in all the time. Is this normal? And yes or no. But we'd like to be able to advise them, one way or the other. And we're not so stuck up that we won't talk to people about it if we didn't do it. We want people. We like tattoos. We like, people expressing themselves. So do that.
That's great. Yeah.
Just wanted to mention that you guys are now using an anesthetic, a numbing agent.
Yeah, it's a big hammer.
It's a big hammer. But your philosophy behind that?
Yeah, we have added a. I don't know if it's probably controversial in the tattoo industry. A lot of guys are like, you gotta take it to earn it or whatever. But you know what? Sometimes it's good to tattoo somebody who isn't wiggling. Mm-hmm. I can get a better line on somebody who isn't wiggling on their ribs or something like that. And we have some products that we can offer if you have concerns about how your tattoo is going to feel. In general, it stops hurting when I'm done. But we have some things we can help you out with.
Well, how can people reach your shop?
Well, we're located in Gallipolis, Ohio, 45631 on 2nd Avenue. Pretty easy to find. Google us, NV Ink Tattoo. You'll find us.
And so thank you very much. We very much appreciate you taking the time to come out this morning, or this afternoon, I guess it is now. And we are going to welcome our next guest, which, do you want to?
Well, our next guest is someone that I've known for a while. It is my husband, First Sergeant Donald Walker. He's retired from the United States Army, and today is Veterans Day. So in honor of that, we wanted to have him on today and talk a little bit about your career and some things that you have going on. And so welcome to Chamber Exchange.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Well, I just came here today because, of course, it's Veterans Day. And, of course, we always try and take the time today to thank veterans, and just basically wanted to come on and ask you to do that. And slide beside my wife. I will do that. First, I was going to just tell you a brief history about myself. I joined the Army in 1990. I became a watercraft operator, and for the first 7 years, I basically drove tugboats, flew hovercraft, anything the Army asked me to do. They gave me orders, I executed those orders. So I might give you an order later today. And from 97 to 2000, the Army, in their infinite wisdom, decided to send me, of all places in the world, to Gallipolis, Ohio. And I was an Army recruiter here. I helped bring young men and women into the service to help fill the ranks and keep our mighty military going. And of course, it's where I met my wife, Jennifer, and then best recruit ever. I married her, unfortunate for her probably, and then we went our way away from Gallipolis down basically back to Virginia, and I deployed to Iraq twice. I've been to Bahrain, Kuwait, been to Bogota, Colombia, London, Qatar. All around the world, Qatar, Africa, all just doing what the Army asked me to do. And it was time for me to retire. I retired in 2010. I always told vets and even people that were in the service, eventually you have to get out. You can be a veteran your whole life, but you can only serve for a little bit of it. So once you get out, you got to figure out what you're going to do. So I worked for the Department of Defense. I did biometrics. We used a database, a matching system where we used fingerprints, facial recognition software, and iris software to catch terrorists. I did that for about 4 years. Was involved with a few things, caught some bad guys that set off IEDs and things like that. Finally, this lovely lady beside me basically come up to me and told me I had to lay down my sword and do something else and take her home. So I quit that job, came to Gallipolis, Ohio. We love it here. We have a home. Our son goes to the middle school here. I actually spoke today there to all the students about Veterans Day. I gave them a mission to do, and it's the same one I'm going to ask you to do. And it slightly involves what I currently do now. I work at north of Dodge. I help with their marketing and in sales. So
we have a graphic.
Yeah,
if you can pull the Holiday Meal for Heroes graphic up, please.
So during my time being deployed, I told the students today and everyone always that the best thing you can get while you're deployed is a letter. So this graphic that we have up here is where you send a seasoned greeting card to a U.S. service member. It's real easy. It says it right on the slide. It's real easy. All you have to do is write out the card. You don't even have to stamp it or seal it, because trust me, addresses over there are a little tricky. And all you have to do is drop it off at the Chamber of Commerce, of course with these ladies, or up at north of Dodge, where I'm currently employed, and do that before November 25th. If you do that, we'll be able to, Jennifer and myself will be able to take that to a drop-off point, and they'll put all those letters in the mail, and it takes a while, and to all the servicemen and women everywhere helping protect us and keeping us safe. It's the best thing to get when you're over there, maybe besides candy. Those letters help you get through it and everything. So also at my retirement job, I'm going to do a thing for the Wounded Warrior Project. It's a great project. I love it. I think I should have come up with it. It is a great project where they help wounded warriors. And you know, we forget. You know, when you think of a soldier, you think of what I'm wearing today or the combat uniform I was in earlier today. But really the ones that we really need to think about are the ones who are in the wheelchairs, who are still in the hospitals, who are having to continue the fight that they wish they had left and it followed them home. So if you come up to the car dealership there, north of Dodge, and if you purchase a car from me, I will donate a portion of that sale to the Wounded Warrior Program. Simple, all you got to do is, you know, show your proof of service to me, either your military ID card or your DD-214, and I'll donate a portion of the sale to the Wounded Warrior Program. So that's basically a twofold mission I've given you. The first one is to help us send letters to the men and women who are downrange, that's what we always call it, downrange, protecting us. You know, they love those letters. It keeps them warm at night, that little piece of paper. And the other part is to come up to the dealership and I'll donate a portion of the sales to the Wounded Warrior Project to help those soldiers who need our help still today. And of course, thank a veteran today. They appreciate it. We hear it a lot. Sometimes we forget. I don't even know how to respond sometimes. People will come up to me and just say thank you, and I hear it so much, so often. There have been times when I deployed back to Iraq, they formed us all up in a formation, walked us through Atlanta airport, and they just yelled at the top of their lungs, the people that were escorting us, warriors going back to combat. And everyone in the entire airport stops, and they clap, they want to buy you lunch, they want to bump you up to first class, which is a nice thing. It's not too bad. But it's all because they appreciate what we do. And if you could thank a veteran today, I would appreciate that.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for being here with us today.
Yes, thank you for serving. And we want to thank on behalf of the Chamber and all of our members as well. We were there, all of us, I believe, were there today at the parade and the Veterans Day ceremony in the park. So we would like to, on behalf of the Chamber and its members, say thank you to those of you who have served. And I think we've only got a few minutes left, 5 minutes left. Is there anything else that you wanted to say?
Oh, just thanks again. And I know that if there's any kids that watch, they always ask what certain things are on your uniform. You know, I can show you that the highest thing right here, that's the Bronze Star. And then down here you can see, that means I can drive very well.
That's questionable.
Yeah, I knew she'd say that. And this, more importantly, this means I can shoot very well. So if you ever wonder what, you know, a military man or woman, what they have on a uniform, just ask them. They'll explain it to you, because a lot of it doesn't make sense to civilians. So again, thank them.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
I think we only have 4 minutes left, it appears. So if we can bring up the recent Chamber Exchange recent news slide.
We stay busy, as you can see here. First pictures there, we recently had a ribbon cutting at the Artisan Studio, which is an extension of the Artisan Shop. And they are just going to have their first canvas and, what are they calling it? Brush and bottle?
Brush and bottle,
Brush
yes.
and bottle with wine and painting and things. But they have art supplies there. You can go in and buy your supplies and paint. We actually, as you can see there, Michelle painted a pumpkin. And
It wasn't very good.
those are our kids there,
Yes.
Sydney and Dylan painting pumpkins. It's definitely a family thing. We try to stay involved. But we just recently had that. And then Michelle and I and Don was there also. I don't know if he's in any of those pictures. But we were at the Gallup Police and Lights workshop where we helped with making the balls that are hung in the trees. They're lighting the park day before Thanksgiving, so there'll be festivities that day. So these are just,
if you haven't been to the lighting in the city park, you really should go. It is really neat to be out there at night and waiting for the lights to come on, and it's really reminiscent of things you see on TV. You know, I've seen them before, and
just reconfirms that living in a small town is kind of a beautiful thing.
yeah, it's kind of neat.
Next thing would be the LSA training.
This is training that's coming up November 19th. And I don't know, I did that really quick and I realize now it says September 19th. But, so you can take that slide down. But yeah, November 19th. And it's a great training. It's only $15. It's open to any business. Any employee of a business, but it goes through the requirements handed down by the Department of Labor under the Fair Labor Standard Act. Talks about all kinds of different things. That's what regulates what you can and can't do as an employer. And that you can call the chamber at 446-0596 for more information on that. But it's November 19th.
Let's see, next we've got our slide pertaining to our annual dinner.
Coming up on January 28th, and we're working on information about that now, so things should be going out. And then Small Business Saturday, that's coming up November 28th as well.
The day after Black Friday, and on Thanksgiving Day, those of you who get the newspaper in Gallia, Meigs, and Mason counties will see an 8.5 by 14 flyer that the Chamber is producing, featuring what some of our small businesses are offering as far as specials, discounts, promotions, refreshments. So watch your newspaper for those ads.
And I think that's about it for today. So we very much appreciate our guests, Joshua LaBello and First Sergeant. I just forgot. That's so I started to say it's your first name, and I went, oh no. But yes, thank you for coming today, Don Walker. And I'm Michelle Miller.
I'm Jennifer Walker. She's a blast to work with, as you can see here.
No, not really. I always try to have so many names running around in my head. So, but thank you all very much for coming today on our second show, and we'll work out the glitches eventually in the future, and I'll remember people's names.
And if there's anything you'd like to see on future Chamber Exchange episodes, shoot us an email, jwalker@galliacounty.org or mmiller@galliacounty.org, and we'd be glad to consider any suggestions you may have.
So I think that's it for today. So thank you all very much for coming.
Thank you.